this is Law Nation Sports. Let's go. Really appreciate each and every last one of you all for tuning in to this podcast. We're going to talk about it. I hate this time of season because it's such a long one, right? Rules about this guy going away, this guy staying, Cowboys insiders talking about this and that, which is good, you know, as far as the communication line for what's going on. But also, it's rough, man. It's rough. Now, as we proceed to talk about this, as we set this thing all the way up, there's a lot of ambiguity as it relates to the NFL and its policies and procedures. A lot of it. Come on. A lot of hearsay too, right? Money. I like it. Used to have pros. It's bittersweet too, right? These players don't have nothing to do with it. They just want to play in this game, right? Some grew up loving this, right? What's good with you, Aaron? Appreciate you. Shout out to you, Patrick. Appreciate you. Shout out to all of the Facebook gang, HBOs. Let's go. Really appreciate you guys. Thank those who watching. Thank those who want to watch but can't watch. And thank those who sharing. And sharing is caring, Cowboy Nation. News came about earlier this day about Amari Cooper and DeMarcus Lawrence not being able to be on this team for the 2022 season. Both of those guys, if you add in Randy Gregory. Now, out of the three, DeMarcus Lawrence, Randy Gregory, and Amari Cooper, I would rather for the Cowboys to keep all three of them, right? That's just my hopes, and that they figure this out and not try to kick the can to figure out other things of saying, okay, we would like to have this guy on the roster versus somebody else. And that's just how I feel about it, right? And it's just like this. Shout out to you, Rue Glock. 82 degrees. Well, yeah, it's still freezing out here where I'm at. Appreciate you, man. Amari ain't going nowhere from Ron Foreman. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Ron Foreman with the breaking news, man. I love that, Ron. Let me get Ron the soundtrack, the sound bite of the year. Breaking news from Ron Foreman. But where we at? Here we go. But here's the thing, though, Ron. I hope you're right. I hope you're right, because lately, a lot of stuff been going around crazy. All right, so let's listen in to audio from one of the insiders. They are pretty much Bobby Belt. I trust his words. He ain't got nothing to. He don't have no reason to lie to kick it. I trust Bobby Belt. We had him on the show several times. Shout out to him. Shout out to Jane Slater. Shout out to Sean and RJ from their wonderful reports from 105.3 The Fan. And we'll talk about is it rigged and all of this stuff as relates to the NFL as well. But let's listen to these guys.
Gary talking about, hoping to, or sort of intimating that he would hope that some of their relationships and things they've gone through over the years, that might earn them a little bit of a discount. I don't know how much that'll be at play here. What I think is happening for the Cowboys is, we've talked about DeMarcus Lawrence's cap number, and it's $27 million heading into 2022. There are some cap savings that can be had if you release him or if you restructure him. I think, just from talking to some people, that this decision for them, they're looking at it as more of a choice, like which direction do they want to go. So I think they're looking at it as, do we want to re-sign Randy Gregory, or do we want to, restructure DeMarcus Lawrence? I don't think that they're going to roll into next season necessarily with both guys. I think they view this as they got to pick one.
All right, so any, mini, mighty, mo. Which one y'all going to pick or which one y'all going to let go? That even rhymes, Dr. Seuss style. Baby, one fish, two fish. It's I think DeMarcus Lawrence. I don't like this. I don't like this at all, because this develops a wedge, a great divide between the two players, right? Randy Gregory versus DeMarcus Lawrence. It's always the salary cap. I think that the NFL can survive without the salary cap. Yeah, I just think I'm opposed to the salary cap. I would like for them to abolish the salary cap. Right? I think that when the salary cap was originally initiated, we didn't have TV deals, right, like we have now. We didn't have all-time revenue as relates to jersey sales. Right? Because this right here always divide the house. There will be natural people that will look into this thing and say, okay, DeMarcus Lawrence is trash because he getting paid all of that money and he ain't getting us to these type of results as relates to a Khalil Mack or Aaron Donald, what have you. And some people will say, hey, Randy Gregory is cool, but he's not reliable. He don't play every game of the season. He had a strange calf strain, what he did stretch. And before that time frame, he was on the field, off the field, and one can argue it's because of
smoke weed every day.
And now, you want to look at the quarterback. He restructured his contract, but good Lord, look how much money the Cowboys paid him, So that's why you can't get the team that you want. I say just do away with the salary cap. I just say do away with it. If it's that difficult to remain afloat, why would you put a cap on something anyway, right? Because at the end of the day, it was supposed to be designed for that so that there can be parity in the league. That's already established. I think that the markets are strong enough to stand, right? And I look at it like this. With the exposure of social media networks, the major media accounts, as well as revenue that you get from ticket sales and whatever it may be, I think that it can stand on its own. You guys let me know. Is baseball a salary cap-free league? I think it's standing on its own, right? And I know baseball, you got more and more games and fewer players. But, at this point, I think baseball is standing strong. And nobody can tell me that, the way the NFL entertainment part of it, it's not more exciting than baseball, right? All right, so let me see. Keep salary cap, sold out production AZ. I feel we want to keep it so that we will not say what the LA Rams is doing, right, is the norm. Because that's what the cap's supposed to be. The cap's supposed to stop you from going out there and building up these mega teams, going out there and establishing these mega teams, right? Keep both, find a way. But it's the third one. You can't keep both. It's all three of them. This thing is designed for Amari Cooper, DeMarcus Lawrence, and Randy Gregory. Because it will be out of control, sold out production. I feel you though, yeah, it will be out of control. But man, it seems as if though it's out of control now. Because what the salary cap do is it keeps the billionaires like their hands are clean, right? It keeps them away from touching anything. And one thing you can say out there on the streets when you're moving the stuff, don't touch it, right? Just don't get caught. Shout out to you, the great. He says, I think it's a true reason for the salary cap is for owners to protect themselves from overspending. That's why I said, man, if I can ever hit the lottery of life, I'll try to be one of these owners around here. You know, we have a big problem because I end up if I buy a team, I end up changing the uniforms and everything to look just like the Cowboys. They're like, yeah, Lauder bought the Denver Broncos. Man, they got a star on the side of their helmet, you know. They got silver and blue now. Wow, you know. They the Denver Cowboys, you know. Shoot, if you look at the Patriots, that's what they did. They put the star on the side of their helmet and embellished the star even more, even though the dude got the long chin and face or what have you. And then if you look at what the Commanders or the Washington Commodores, they got stars on their logos now. That's the thing. You want to put the stars on it, you know. Plus, it's a strategy. I feel you sold out. Somebody said C. Burleson. He laughing because he said a billionaire overspending. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Yeah.
And so I think whichever direction they choose to go there, if it's pursuing Randy, then I think that doesn't bode well for DeMarcus Lawrence being on the team here in 2022. And you know, just talking to some people right now, I think they're leaning more towards trying to keep Randy Gregory than DeMarcus Lawrence.
All right, since this is the type of game and the argument we're gonna have. It's the billionaire laugh. Who, my friends, more valuable? And we can also talk upside, too. Randy Gregory or DeMarcus Lawrence. Who would you guys prefer? G says Randy over D-Law. Skeletor Jerry. Oh, we got a split room in the house. Randy Gregory. Xavier says D-Law. Jeremy says D-Law. X Brown says you better keep Randy, you know. Gregory easily. Okay. All right. So Aaron Lewis says D-Law. What's up, Charles? Appreciate you. So, man, we got a split house, man. We got a split house. I just want to keep both of them. I'm greedy. I'm greedy. So if you keep both, you got to get rid of Coop, right? That's what we're up against. I digress. I think that Randy Gregory, flat out, a better pass rusher, right? Better pass rusher. Not that discipline against the run. You got to play good concepts to be disciplined against the run. And I'm not saying that he can't improve on that, right? Just like I had the same feeling with Robert Quinn when he was here. It was like, man, Law, which side you going to put Robert Quinn on? Well, I look at it like, man, Robert Quinn, I said, he can dip that shoulder. He's not as fluid. But, man, he's a little bit better, collectively speaking, than Randy because he was better against the run, right? And it's just the Cowboys wetted the bed. I can close your eyes, Cowboy Nation. Can you imagine? Hear me out. if we had Robert Quinn with Dan Quinn, oh my gosh, it would have been nasty. But neither here nor there. We didn't want to pay Robert, and he went off to Chicagoland and had, I think, 17 or 18 sacks. So we got Basham. We got, who else? A free agent Basham. We got Dorrance Armstrong. We got Randy Gregory. And we got in the miss, DeMarcus Lawrence as our edge guys. I do like Golston. I like what he brings to the table, by the way. Pretty good on the edge. Not as good as DeMarcus Lawrence or Randy. So I'm looking at it like this. Whatever it is, Jerry Jones and John Stephen Jones, keep Randy and D-Law. Because what will happen here, those boys, their level of production, the moment you get rid of them, watch what they do on another team. I promise you, they are not slouches. And I know you can't play the game of keeping everyone, but they got to figure this part out of the puzzle. Let's listen to more of what they got to say. What's happening, Law? I'm a little late. What's going on? Shout out to you, Mickey. We're talking about Randy Gregory and DeMarcus Lawrence.
Okay, now I got a couple follow-ups here for you, Bobby.
Does
this mean, if they remove one of those two, that puts Micah on the edge?
I think he ends up getting used on the edge about as much as he was this past year. Maybe a little bit more. I mean, it depends on who else they're able to bring back. They really like Chauncey Golston, who's the rookie pick, and he's got 3 more years here under contract. Dorrance Armstrong's out of contract, though. And we saw that when they were missing Lawrence or Randy or other guys, that they would play Micah there full time. So I think by the end of next year, we're looking at it, and it's obviously very early. We haven't seen the draft, free agency. We don't know exactly how Dan Quinn's going to use the personnel next year. But my inclination would be that I think by the end of next year, we're looking at about the same amount of snaps taken at edge.
All right, so bam, 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 bam. Before I go into that conversation, let me ask y'all this. Do you prefer Micah Parsons, who outran everybody yesterday, who outran the cheetah, right? Outran the running back, Nick Chubb, outran Trayvon Diggs, right? He was just running. He just a running, right? And I know the cheetah, he kind of false start off his block, so he was pretty much, he didn't run all the way through, but it's just still remarkable for a linebacker to run that fast. Did y'all see that video? Woo, that video crazy. Would you prefer Parsons to be primarily a defensive edge guy, or do you like him being utilized and used as that linebacker everywhere guy? Let me see somebody put in here. I love y'all. I love y'all commenting. I love it. Keep Tank and Randy. Just convince Tank to restructure. That's the bottom line. Yeah, I like that. That's the bottom line. Hey, but a lot of people don't want to restructure his contract because it's like kicking the can down the street. You eventually got to pick it up when somebody say, hey, you kicking that can. Don't kick it in my yard. Pick it up. That's how it goes, right? I'm kicking the can down the street. So you eventually going to have to pick it up. Not in my yard. Cheetah still tripping off of the Bengals game. Yeah. Everywhere guy. Yeah, I feel you. So Hannon says, let's keep my guy Parsons as everywhere guy, the element of surprise. But if you do that, 2 ways you got to look into this, Cowboy Nation. You're going to have to do something in the free agency, plus figure out something in the draft. I'm looking at it, yeah, we high hopes on Jabril Cox, but he's unproven, believe it or not. red shirt year last season because we really didn't get a chance to see him play, right? And then the Cowboys end up cutting Jalen Smith, end up inserting Keanu Neal in more snaps. So we really didn't get a chance to see my guy, Jabril Cox, play, right? Because they tried to move those things, but it was just too late. A cut too late, right? But neither here nor there. In the draft and in the free agency, in order to keep everything in front of Parsons, you got to build that team of guys around him so that he won't have to be engaged on big boys who get to the second level. And I'm not saying that he would not have another successful year. But what you want to do, collectively speaking, you want to get that big body inside. Shout out to Jordan Davis, somebody like that. Big boy, right, on the defensive side of the coin, or somebody that can erase the pocket, free it up, clog the middle, gobble up, account for two. There's a quote that Jordan Davis said, hey, when I account for two, that means one of my guys are free. That's why y'all running around talking about Nakobe Dean. That joker get a run around for free. So you're going to have to build complementary pieces. That's all I'm saying. The Cowboys on the offensive side of the coin, they've been working to do such, right? Let's get another wide receiver to help out this. Let's get some offensive line to help out the running game, or the offensive line to help out the quarterback, right? They've been doing it for years. But for many of years, there have been no complementary pieces on the defensive side of the coin. It's always been hopes, wishes, and dreams, right? Draft, you got to go get that offensive line. I feel you, man. Oh, I feel you. LVE is gone, Rue. Yeah. So when we talk about if you want Parsons on that front, right, that eliminates him, right? They're cutting off one of his hands when he's ambidextrous. You know, he can use both basically. But if you put him on edge, it cut off one of his arms. You know, I'm illustrating over here. This arm or this arm, you know, you're cutting it off. And you said, Lord, we got this dynamic guy, but he's only on the edge. Newsflash, there's nothing wrong with that. Von Miller ate for many of years. And somebody can argue now, Cowboy Nation, and everybody that's listening, let me hit this one right here. By the way, if you're watching at this point and you had not hit that like button or shared this content or subscribe and you still watching,
shame. Shame. Shame.
Now let me get to my point. One can argue that Parsons may be a whole lot better than Von Miller. Wow. Cowboys, don't y'all mess this up. I'm going to speak right into the mic. Don't y'all mess this up. Don't, Cowboy Nation. Jerry Jones, John Stephen Jones, Willie McClay. I know it's Will McClay, but I won't call him Willie. Willie, don't you mess this up. Y'all better put somebody around this boy. Y'all better feed this guy the right way. Y'all better make sure that when he run around that he don't have to get gobbled up and somebody grabbing him. Don't you know what you got? Stop looking at every other team and fix this part right here. Defense wins it all. I ain't finna say the C word, but defense wins it all. I don't care about the aficionados getting the phone call, the Illuminati phone call saying, hey, we got an extra $30,000 if you call this, if you call that. But baby, if you can get to the quarterback and fold him up like a pretzel, it gonna make it even harder for you to rig it up. don't y'all drop that ball. Shoo. I ought to do the rest of the episode like this. Law crazy over here, man. Yeah. Don't y'all drop that ball. Because if you think about it, Diggs, he's cool. I like Diggs. I like Trayvon Diggs. But he can be better. He's going into his third year. Most DBs, the light click on in his third and fourth year. And baby, when I tell you, man, that light was just flickering last year. It was about to click all the way on last year, 11 interceptions. How much better would that be if you got a safety over the top? People fail to realize, DBs, we had my guy, hear me out. We had my guy on the show, and we were George Teague. We had my guy on the show, and he was talking about him in prime, Deion Sanders. And I don't know about y'all, man, but there's not many cornerbacks in the National Football League was good like prime. But he was telling that they had to be on the same page, in rhythm, in sync, hold each other accountable, sit on this particular zone. They had to challenge everything with each other. If we get us a dynamic safety, lo and behold, that's going to improve Diggs' game. But back to number 11, one can argue the quarterback of the defense. Just like we banging on the table. Man, our quarterback need an offensive line. We're dog it inverse. Our linebacker need a defensive line, a trench guy. We do. Let's listen to more of this audio, so don't y'all mess this up.
Bobby Bell with us here on the Diamond Factory Hotline, our Cowboys insider. So if, let's say that they're making this decision between Tank and Randy Gregory, and they were to part with Tank for salary cap reasons, do you have any idea if that impacts their decision on Amari Cooper, or are they not one and the same at all?
I would, if you made me place a bet now, which I can't as an NFL Network employee, they don't let me bet, but if I were allowed to, I would say, and I think that a lot of people on the periphery of these decisions, so people in the organization but not quite up to Jerry and Steven, and people in both camps for Amari and DeMarcus Lawrence, I think both of those guys are likely to be gone at this moment. And so I think that I think Cooper and Lawrence both, I don't know that we're looking at June 1s for them or restructures. I think the betting favorite right now would be straight releases for both guys. And that
if the Cowboys release DeMarcus Lawrence and Amari Cooper, talking about we gotta save the money, y'all gonna hear me say,
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
It just to me personally, it's not a good look. I promise y'all, man, we gonna be turning on to the news channel, and it's gonna be Amari Cooper, 6 receptions for 289 yards in the final game. Blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? DeMarcus Lawrence, 18 sacks, some crazy stuff. If y'all thinking that right now that you talked about Anthony Hitchens, if you talked about who else went off to Martellus Bennett, Cheeto Woozier, if you talk about most of those players that go off to another team, and we just sitting there saying, hey, man, that dude used to play for the Cowboys. I'll never forget Chris Canty. Some people were dogging Chris Canty. He went to another team, flourished. I think Chris Canty got him a Super Bowl ring, some people literally said the Cowboys, they draft so well for other teams. They do. They draft so well for other teams. We good at drafting. But we terrible. We terrible at willing and dealing, for real. So I think that if the Cowboys do look into this thing and say, okay, we're going to go young. If we're going to go young. Patrick Thompson says he went with the Ravens. Chris Canty. Now, did he win a Super Bowl? Which team did Chris Canty? Y'all remember him? He was the guy that had the one eye, I believe, and had the shield to go on the eye because he had the one eye thing going on. But do you guys remember? I think, did he win the Super Bowl with the Giants? I could be wrong. Or even DeMarcus Ware. That DeMarcus Ware Super Bowl when he won it, I was like, it was crushing. It was crushing for me. Giants probably. Oh my gosh. But here's the craziest thing. People really didn't like Chris Canty that much when he was here. They was dogging the man because of the way I think he got into a fight and orbital socket made him partially blind, and people like, see, there go the Cowboys. Oh my gosh. Where was overrated? No, Kellyo, or is it Kellyo, however you say your Kellyo. No. DeMarcus Ware was hurt. He was injured. And all they had to do is just for him to take one little year off. And I recall, with the DeMarcus Ware situation and scenario, it was kind of like what we are going through now. Just like we couldn't wait to see Randy Gregory and DeMarcus Lawrence just playing healthy on the same side for a year. If you guys remember, it was the same situation. It was DeMarcus Ware and is his name Anthony Spencer or Ant Spencer or Antonio Spencer? I think it was Anthony Spencer. Canty won with the Giants. Illmatic, it was with the Giants. Oh my gosh. D-Law overrated. Come on, Kellyo. Come on. No. Yeah. Neither here nor there. Let me play the rest of this audio. But I just say this. If they do decide to cut or release or get something in return, they better get something in return. But if they just flat out cut Amari Cooper and DeMarcus Lawrence and get nothing in return, I'm really going to get very upset. But if they go and do that and let's say they pick up some guys. From this list right here. Then, it better be a guy that's reasonable, right? That we can hang our hat on. All right, so let's listen to the rest of this one. I'm almost there. Here we go.
Would be $16 million freed up from Cooper and $8 million freed up from DeMarcus Lawrence.
And does that mean that they have to, at that point, re-sign Gallup and Cedric Wilson?
I think that would be how they would approach it, because I think, and I said this on G-Bag.
All right, so he says $16 million freed up, and then $8 million, 16 plus 8, carry da. That's what, 24? That's $24 million. That's $24 million. So with $24 million, right? 16 plus 8 is 24, right? So who we gonna go get? We better go get somebody. Who we gonna go and move around? Since they got all of this money. Because last I checked, we really don't with the 24, that's gonna free up the money for Randy. Do you guys really feel comfortable of getting rid of Amari Cooper and DeMarcus Lawrence for Randy? Basically, essentially, you'll get rid of DeMarcus Lawrence and Amari Cooper to re-sign Randy and probably Schultz. Is that something that you guys will be willing to do? Let me see what somebody says. Law, even if we are $24 million, who? Kelly Price saying it right. The price is right. Who we gonna go get? I got this list right here. All right, so we go back to this list, and let's go look at the top 10 guys. There's top 10 guys on this list. I'm going to share it with you guys. So you independently can look at this list, just scroll down and check out that list. It's in the chat, okay? Click that list. Let me know. So here's the top 10 guys. You got Armstead. He's long in the tooth. He's 31 years of age. Of course, we got Devontae Adams, who's number 1. Chris Godwin, he's number 3 on this list. He's still young. Allen Robinson, Von Miller, that's a long tooth. Chandler Jones, J.C. Jackson, Orlando Brown, Marcus Williams, and Mike Williams. Those are your top 10 guys. So out of this list right here, Cowboy Nation, if we cut, now I can hear somebody saying now, hey, yeah, I'll cut Amari Cooper for Devontae Adams. Yeah. All right, so a lot of people saying that. I know a lot of people do that, though. I ain't going to even lie. You know, a lot of people say, yeah, Devontae Adams, Amari Cooper. And Amari Cooper's still younger than him. I think Amari Cooper about 3 years younger than him, too, by the way. That's essentially cutting a younger player for an older player. Armstead, hey, he's 31, you know, so he's got a lot of wide receivers. Allen Robinson, that's cutting, like I said, a younger player for an older player. Von Miller, that's old dude, right? And yes, he probably come back to Dallas to play for free, you know, almost, you know, so I wouldn't even look into that. William, oh yeah. He says Devontae want way too much money. I heard Devontae want $30 million. I think he said he want $30 million a year. And I ain't trying to get into the man's pockets. I hope he can get it somewhere, but just not over here in Dallas. If they, $30 million a year, woo! If they are, at least Cowboys will get a comp pick, right? Back if they sign a free agent with a lower or cancel out the comp pick. Okay. Prince, the comp pick are tradable, but you have to wait a full year to get that investment back in return. And it's predicated upon how they play and everything, and I think it's a whole bunch of other stuff. And I think the comp pick will be no more, I want to say complimentary pick, basically. I think that's what it is, complimentary pick. I think that will put you right around the 3rd or the 4th round draft pick. I wouldn't want that. I don't like when the Cowboys draft 8 and 9, well, 8 players in a year. You know, I know it's 7, but I know sometimes they have multiple picks. I don't like when they do all of those draft picks. Last year, yeah, we had multiple draft picks. Osa, Nashawn, Chauncey Golston. I think we traded with the Eagles to get Chauncey and, you know, Kelvin Joseph. Yeah, Parsons. We had multiple picks. So who else we had? Matt Farniok, Simi Fehoko. And I'm not going in any order, Josh Ball. Because there will always be a delay. There will always be a delay in development. It takes 3 years for the draft pick to come around. 3 years. Now, granted, Osa, hell of a year last season, hit the rookie wall, kind of fell off and dissipated a little bit. Hell of a prospect. Maybe this year you can see even more. Kelvin Joseph didn't even play, basically. Couldn't get on the field. Nashawn Wright, we love what he was able to do during training camp and all of the other stuff. Didn't even get a really chance to play. Yeah, it's good for futures. Remember, I told you guys, just like the stock, you can either go long or short. And we can always put things into the future and say, hey, man, Cowboys, man, by 2022, we're 2022 now. But 2025, man, boy, we be just right by then, baby. Or you can look at the Rams and say, hey, I want it now. I want to go get my ring now. And you know what? No offense to my guy, my homie, my boy, Ezekiel Elliott. But the way I look at the NFL now, I would never pay a running back. Nope. After your rookie's contract, hey, all right, adios. That's just how it goes now. It ain't nothing to do with Ezekiel Elliott at this point. I love Ezekiel. But hey, ho, because people are only going to look at the quarterback's salary and his money and his pay. Nothing else. That's just how it is. I'm stacking up defenses, and I'm trying to make my defense win it all, and I'm stacking up O-line, and I'm making sure my O-line is solid. Quarterback. That's it. I think Reggie Robinson III is ready. Illmatic. No, man. Well, we'll find out because they signed him for a futures contract, right? Simi isn't ready. Yes, Simi ain't ready yet, man. Let's see. Appreciate
this week.
y'all.
I think that the $16 million they think they could save with Cooper. I think the cap number for 2022 for Gallup, Wilson, and Malik Turner, I think they believe they could fit inside that $16 million in savings. And so I think they view it as, okay, do we want these three or this one?
Is that? Do you think that's wise?
No, I think Amari Cooper kind of makes the offense go.
Heck yeah, Amari Cooper. Let me rewind what this dude said. Bobby Belt, look, he's very trusted, man. You know, I mean, Bobby, man, he ain't got no reason to lie to kick him, man. Bobby my guy, you know, so I ain't finna say anything off on Bobby, you know. And shout out to Sean and RJ, man. Those boys solid.
Gallup, Wilson, and Malik Turner, I think they believe they could fit inside that $16 million in savings. And so I think they view it as, okay, do we want these three or this one?
Is that? Do you think that's wise?
No, I think Amari Cooper kind of makes the offense go. I you know, when he's not involved or when he's missed games or before he got here, the offense was stagnant. I mean, if you want to know, okay, how does the offense look with CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup as the main options? Let's look at the first half against Kansas City, and it didn't go well. It looked really tough. And I know Kansas City and their game plan, just talking to some people over there that week, they felt a huge sense of relief knowing Amari Cooper was going to be out. They felt that they could, you know, scheme up and handle things pretty well with Lamb and Gallup. And
Trey says, go sign Juju. How much money Juju want? How much money he want, man, since we want to play this game? And I do. Somebody put down history repeating itself. You know, I feel you. Is it really Juju? That's how you spell his name? Juju. It is really Juju. Okay. Come on, go there. One year. So he had a 1 year, $8 million contract. Signing bonus $7. Okay. I'll put him right at $15 million. Okay. 4-year contract. You know the craziest thing of it all? The craziest thing of it all. Amari Cooper is still younger than this guy. And that's so. Oh man, Amari Cooper's still younger than this guy, man. Juju. Come on. Their website slow. All right. All right. Y'all bear with me. Okay, you can't see it that way. I'm looking at everything on Juju. Really never paid attention to him. So he had 28 targets, 15 receptions last season, 129 yards. In 2020, he had 128 targets, 97 receptions. He did 97 receptions and still didn't get 1,000 yards. That's a lot of targets in 2020. This dude only had 1,000 yards, and that was in 2018. He had 1,426 yards. 111 receptions, though. 7 touchdowns. Okay, that's pretty good. 9 touchdowns in 2020. 26 total touchdowns in his career. Gallup is better than Juju. I think Michael Gallup. If I pull up Michael Gallup numbers, it's better than Juju Smith-Schuster. But, Gallup come back healthy, and then you sign Gallup to like a low man's contract. Juju is younger than Coop? I thought. Oh, yeah, he is. Okay, I thought he said 28. Okay, yeah, he's 25. I'm sorry. I apologize. Yeah, Juju Smith-Schuster is younger. About 2 years. He's 2 years younger than Coop. Okay, I apologize. Fake news, right? Fake news. My bad. He will spike the market for Dallas. I promise you. He will bring a lot of excitement. And hear me out. He'll bring a lot of excitement. He making sway the minds of the higher powers that it be. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know maybe the officials can like him, right? Maybe if you win the crowd, you can win the war. Because that's what it appears to be, right? Listening in to all of the other stuff that people like to say. So the marketing deal will be crazy. Him dancing before the game. Oh, man, his interviews, his TikTok channel. Oh, my God. Juju in Dallas will blow the market up. And maybe, this is entertainment. This is what this game and this sport is all about,
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
So from an entertainment value, Juju versus Coop, remember, because I failed to realize that the NFL, it's a threefold business. It's talent on the field. It's the public of opinion's thoughts, right? And it's the invisible hand that controls all of this stuff, right? That can make the phone call and say, yeah, he was pushed. That DB did talk back about him. You know what I'm saying? We trying to win, Lord. Yeah, I think that's the situation. I really do.
And so I think those are really good receivers, and I like what Cedric Wilson can do. I like the potential of Malik Turner, but I don't think anybody else on this roster comes to Amari's level as a receiver. And so I don't think that's the best idea here, but I think this is ultimately where we may be heading.
Yeah, Chuck, you got it now, right? Replying, hey, so Law want Juju for cheerleading purposes. My point exactly, right? Because they don't like Amari Cooper's antics of being silent, being the assassin that don't budge, right? People, this is an entertainment business. I'm going to play a clip that this guy came out in 1983 of his explanation of why the NFL is rigged. Don't shank me with the butter knife. But man, it's prevalent to this day about the entertainment value. But neither here nor there. Let's. But yeah, it is Cooper over Juju. Yeah, it's Cooper over Juju. But we trying to win. We trying to win the fans, the kids, the future, and that invisible hand. That invisible hand. It's somebody that's on this team that invisible hand don't like, and they gonna say, hey, I got $300,000 to the next official. Kids Trust Fund. If you put it in favor of the opposing team. If y'all think I'm lying, man, if they offer a coach $100K, which even though is allegedly, right? Brian Flores, if the owner offered him $100K, allegedly offered him $100K, and Brian Flores is a multimillionaire, I can only imagine what they offered or will offer to sway, to change the minds of the officials. Y'all think it's a game. All right, Calvin Ridley is trying to leave Atlanta. He would be a nice choice. This is from Nicholas Williams. Calvin Ridley so nasty too, baby. Oh my gosh, he got some mental things that's going on, and I hope all is well with him. If I'm Jerry Jones, forget all of that, what I just said. I would figure out a way to have Amari Cooper, Calvin Ridley, and CD Lamb. Oh my God. I'll figure it out. Calvin, what's going on? Jerry needed to reach out to that invisible hand guy, the person that's controlling everything, and say, hey, I tell you what, Cowboys pull this off, some of my debt that I owe you guys can be forgiven, right? Oh my God, I would like Ridley on this team. Although he had a case of drops, right? That's known for his size and his structure or what have you. And the last play I remember that LVE snatched the ball from him. Remember that game, Cowboy Nation? LVE took the interception from him, and I think that was LVE's rookie year. And he had an interception on him, and I believe Trayvon Diggs, he didn't necessarily get the interception, but I believe he ran and he knocked the ball down. It was a good thrown ball right into his mittens, and Trayvon Diggs had the recovery speed to catch up with him and knock the ball out of his hand.
I'll tell you, because if you put some safeties back there and you kind of give up, shell, you get a little over the top help, a lot of what Gallup does is go deep. That kind of limits him.
Yeah, and I think that, I know Kansas City's thought when they played was roll a little bit of safety help to CD, and they thought they could just lock up Gallup with press coverage. And so I wonder if that's how other teams would view it, if they just view it as put some safety help up there, and the two shells, you got one over top of CD, you get one over top of Michael Gallup, or if it would just be a case where, maybe some teams think that they could, just stylistically take Gallup out of the game with some press coverage or things like that. But I think it makes it incredibly difficult for you to run the offense the way you want to without Amari Cooper. But I think that they're just in a bit of a bind here financially on the books, and these are definitely two of the easier ways to free up money. I just don't know that it's the wisest way to free up money.
Good question from the 520 on the truckcorrect.com fan text. Why couldn't you trade Amari Cooper? Does that not work out the same in terms of the cap savings, and at least you try and get something back in return for him?
It does, and it's the same savings whether you release him or trade him, and so it's something that they could explore. I think that generally the reason why those things don't happen is because teams know
you're gonna get rid of him anyway.
They know which guys you're going to move on from, and they'll just play the waiting game for you. It's harder to get draft pick compensation in these sorts of situations, I think. But Cooper is a guy that I think still has value like that. And so, I think Coop developed a bit of a reputation as when he's disinterested, then he's not going to be very engaged, and he's not going to put up numbers. So I think that was a reputation in, Oakland when he was with the Raiders. and that when he came here, there was interest, and all of a sudden, he was playing his tail off. And so I think that there's a little bit of a perception around the league that I don't know that you'd want to have to trade for him to ensure he gets to you. It'd just be one of those things that once you get to free agency, you'd rather let him pick which destination he wants to go to. But
all right, so I tell people all the time, labels are the hardest thing to remove, especially if you start to remove a label off something and you didn't use the right stuff. It leaves residue. It leaves a mark. You can see where that labeling is at. And I hate it that Amari Cooper has been labeled such, right? That he's disheveled. He's not into the game when he's not giving the ball or ball going his way, or things don't seem to or appear to be in favor of a game, and that he pouts and he sulks. You know what I'm saying? He sulks, and he just not interested. I hate that for him, right? Because he's an even kill guy. When total chaos and people are running around with everything is on fire, he's the cool dude just sitting back. Fires everywhere, man. Let me see if I can do a great representation. Fire everywhere. Fire! I'm on fire, right? But this Cope, he just chilling. He in the fire, just chilling, like. Matter of fact, and then he go down there. This Cope, he would literally, while he in the fire, everybody else, Cope would literally just do this. He'd turn the music up. He'd turn the music all the way up. That's Cope. He'd just turn the music up while everybody else is running around. Oh, it's fire. It's hot in here, baby. And I hate that for him, man. I hate that he get labeled with such, I hate that Coop got that, thing that's going on as it relates to that, And he a cool cat. I think that everybody should respect that, because it's hard for us to have technically all of our wide receivers like that. Gallup, he's not going to be like, hey, give me the ball, right? As well as CeeDee Lamb, I don't think that he's that guy. They might argue amongst each other off camera, but Lamb is not that guy. We know Cedric Wilson is not that guy. I don't know about Juju if he come over here. But Noah Brown wasn't that guy, and I don't think he's coming back. Simi, definitely not that guy. If you ever get a chance to talk to Simi, go to his Instagram page. He's going to say, everybody, let's hold hands, let's start praying. He's one of those guys. He gonna open up a whole prayer line for you, and there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. So that's just how it goes with all wide receivers. Who I'm missing out? Malik Turner? Yeah. Yeah, let's see what Malik Turner do during this offseason, by the way. Let's see what y'all saying. I know Jay and I hate it. Yeah, we hate this for him. Shout out to you, Jessica. Appreciate you. Kay Hayes, appreciate you. Asmodeus, appreciate you guys. So y'all get what I'm saying, right? Cooper is that dude. All right, Williams, Cooper is that guy that you can just sit back and just chill and know that the pressure is on, and he's going to keep that level head. And he was probably so frustrated that if he never had, think about it, if he never had that commitment to 105.3 The Fan to do like that interview every Thursday, we would never know. We'd never know that he was frustrated about not getting targets, because they had to squeeze him just to get him to talk about that.
It's definitely he's a possibility to trade just because of I think he is worth his cap figure. The Cowboys are just in a bind right now, and I think they view it as easy money to free up. But in terms of his value, yeah, you absolutely could explore those options. They would just have to get it going pretty quick because his 2022 salary fully guarantees on March 20th. And so they're going to have to make a call on that in the next 6 weeks.
Oh, wow. So March 20th, we'll all be marking our calendars for those expiration dates. Shout out to Amari Cooper. He did purchase a home. I think it was a $6.3 million home in Texas. Oh, my God. I can only imagine the property taxes on that one. But neither here nor there. He just closed on his home, and it's a beautiful one. I think he gave us a little snippet of it on IG. That's Instagram. Shout out to him. And before anybody say, well, that don't mean anything, but, you know, purchasing a home is a lot, right? You're going through multiple phases. You're waiting. You're picking out your closet. You're picking out your man cave. Oh, my gosh. You're picking out your basketball court inside, you know, your home. You know, I can't wait till I get to that level, right? Oh, my goodness. I have all of y'all over, man. We'll do a Zoom meeting and say, hey, man, thank you for tuning in to the Law Nation's home, Law Nation estate. You know, we'll be sitting there, you know, eating my oodles and noodles. I still have my oodles and noodles, and we'll be watching TV, Law Nation style, right? But you guys get it, man. There's a lot to go into that. Not singing Kumbaya. Yeah, there's something wrong with that, law dude. Yeah, Keith develop some balls and sing Kumbaya. Yeah, Kumbaya, Prince style. Yeah. Let's see. We will be in the law home in the metaverse. Yeah, you know, y'all put your glasses on. Come on, visit my house in the metaverse. That's the wave of the future, right away. That's the wave of the future. All right, so out of this list, I showed you guys before I shared this list with you guys. I think that the Cowboys can look at J.C. Jackson. I like him. He's still young. He's 26 years of age. His years of age is 26. Or Orlando Brown, maybe. But I like the Marcus Williams from New Orleans. You know, that would be nice. But we got the draft right around the corner, right? We got the draft that's here. And before we go to the draft, there's the free agency situation. And I know you guys been watching some of the Senior Bowl clips, and some of those boys can help out. Party like a rock star. Shout out to you, Greg. Yeah. Yeah. You must got a young one just like me, man. When you potty training, that's where I'm at right now with my other young one. You got to figure out songs. So Potty Like a Rock Star, that's a good one. I'm going to have to steal that one from you. But right now, I done took the other song. My wife and I, we took the other song and we used the other one. I think Megan Thee Stallion, she got a song called Body Yaddy 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 Body Yaddy Yaddy Yaddy. Y'all remember that? Slim waist, you know, thick something, you know, body yaddy yaddy yaddy. Well, we done reversed that song for our little one, and it's potty yaddy 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 potty yaddy yaddy. So when it's time for her to potty, she be like potty yaddy yaddy yaddy. So you gotta always figure it out, man, when you got kids. So when she starts singing that song, she know it's time to go use the potty. Yeah, look, I done taught y'all some dad lessons right now, or some family lessons right now. So if you got a young one, right, and it's time for the potty train, create a song. So when they start singing potty yaddy 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 yaddy. So I kid you not, my oldest daughter, before I hit this audio, my oldest daughter, when she heard the original song, she was mad because she was saying, Dad, that's not how that go. That's not how that song go. Body yaddy yaddy. She said it's supposed to say potty yaddy yaddy. And I had to hurry up and change the channel because that song is too mature for my daughter. But you guys get it. You gotta flip it, man. Yeah. So if you got little ones and it's time to potty, think of potty yaddy 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 yaddy. Hey, if Megan Thee Stallion ever hear, can you make a remix song, but not with your body, but with a, you know, because you know they'll throw everything off, you know, But y'all get what I'm saying. Potty, yaddy, 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 yaddy. Now, I know somebody going to be singing that song. Just credit Law Nation's household for that song if you're going around singing it. But neither here nor there. All right, so this is the part of the conversation. If you don't like it, you can leave. But this guy came out in 1983. His name is this guy name right here. You can Google his name. And he goes into the details of the mafia talk and the ties of everything. That's his name, Dan Modia. Not Medea, but Modia. Frog says, Boy Maffei and DeMarco Jackson, D'Angelo Malone, John Ridgway, Calvin Austin. I saw his film. Josh, law thoughts on any of these guys from the draft? I haven't made it down that way. Only person I saw was John Ridgway and Calvin Austin the third. So give me a couple of more weeks here, and you guys will see more and more content with the draft. But I appreciate you, Frog. Appreciate you, man.
Out last week, and it makes some pretty hair-raising charges against a lot of folks.
Can y'all hear the audio?
National Football League. The title says a lot of it. Interference: How Organized Crime Influences Professional Football. Please welcome its author, Dan Moldea. Dan.
Appreciate you, Daryl. Appreciate y'all, man.
What are you hearing from the powers that be? Anything?
They just want me to go away right now.
We've spoken to them, and they don't want to talk about it either. They have nothing to say.
But they're not denying anything, and they're not refuting any of the facts.
Let me talk about some of the major charges. And I just jotted down a few of the. I mean, you're saying, for example, virtually every team owner gambles on football teams.
Well, I'm saying that no fewer than 26.
That's
NFL team owners have documented ties. Past and present NFL team owners have documented business ties to either the gambling community and or the organized crime syndicate. I'm also saying that no fewer than 70 NFL games have been fixed.
Now that's pretty rough stuff. You're saying no fewer than 70 NFL games have been fixed. You mean the outcome, the point spread, what?
I'm saying the points were shaved and thereby fixed. Yeah.
How does this happen?
Well, I first got into this about 1983. Vincent Persani, who is the head of the Michigan State Attorney General's Office Organized Crime Division, told me, if you're going to do a book about the NFL, Dan, you're going to have to get into this guy, Don Dawson, because he was fixing games. We knew it. I went to my friends and my sources at the Internal Revenue Service, the Organized Crime Intelligence Division. They said Don Dawson was fixing games. I went to the FBI, the Organized Crime and Racketeering Section of the Justice Department, and Strike Force field offices. Everybody told me what Don Dawson was fixing games. At that point, I had enough evidence to print that allegedly Don Dawson was fixing NFL games. He was a major bookmaker in the Midwest. I then went to Dawson, I tracked him down, I jumped through all kinds of hoops to interview him, and when I interviewed him on about the 7th or 8th interview, he admitted to me that he had personally participated in the fixing of no fewer than 32 NFL games.
How does that happen?
He liked to work with the quarterback. He would go to the quarterback would come to him and say, I need some bread. What's the line on the game this week? And the bookmaker would say, you guys are favored by 6 points. And then the reply was, we're not going to cover the spread. And basically that was it.
Now, do you...
All right, so before we go a little bit further into this, who believed this guy? Who think that this guy is just lying? He's just lying to kick it. Who believed this guy? And can you guess the year that this video came out? For those who are in the chat, who believe him and who believe that this guy is just he just bullsugaring this thing all the way up. You know, let me see what y'all said in the chat. Appreciate y'all for coming in. Can we get Eric Bieniemy to replace Kellen Moore? I don't know. Voodoo Black said pretty much he putting the clown. C. Brown said 19 of 75. He ain't lying. It's 19 of 86. Listen, so he said that, most of the way they control it is through or via the quarterback. And I get it. The quarterback touches the ball majority of the time outside of the center. And also you can look at it. The kicker, control a lot of things, baby. And if you think about it, the officials. I believe this right here. It's impossible. It's impossible to get all 32 teams on one accord, right? It's impossible to have all 53 players to do what you think that you want them to do. You always going to have somebody to go against the grain. But if you target and focus in on one or two, then it's more reasonable, right? It's more logical that I can control the outcome with the person with the whistle or the flag, or I can control the outcome with the reviews or what have you, because we've seen the game and we studied the game and we got HD now, baby. We got rewind. We can say, hold on, and then we got great recall. You know, we can literally say, hey, wait a minute, why they cut away the commercial? You know, or hey, why did he throw that challenge flag? And then we can literally say to ourselves, hey, in that Arizona game, fumble. We were literally saying fumble. Yeah, we was pumped up. Yeah, they're gonna have to review this and give this ball back to the Cowboys. Nope. I'm 29 and never seen the Cowboys Super Bowl live, and I feared the way the Jones handled this team. Honestly, Law, I feel, well, never see until they step back. Jay Versey. Oh, let me play the rest of this audio then. Ooh. Appreciate you, Jay Versey, for the donation, though, by the way. Appreciate you.
Name players?
Oh, sure. I name players, and also in 1979, I go into the specifics of 8 fixed games that were allegedly fixed by 2 referees who were investigated by both the FBI and the IRS. And I list the 8 games on page 308 of the book.
Yeah. Are drugs involved in this at all?
Yeah, drugs are the real variable in all of this. I mean, when a drug dealer has a relationship with a player, there's an extortionate edge to that situation whereby that dealer has that player's career in his hands because of the drug policies within the NFL for throwing a person out. Within the past few years, no fewer than 9 NFL teams have been investigated because their players were receiving drugs from gamblers. Now, I know gamblers who, on principle, refuse to sell drugs, but I'm not aware of many drug dealers who, on principle, refuse to gamble. And the key here is that the NFL is very aware of the fact, and their worst-case scenario is the player who's strung out can't pay his bill to his dealer, and so the dealer comes to him and says, hey, you owe me money, and the dealer says, and the player says, I told you I can't pay it, and the dealer says, that's okay, but now you're going to come and work for me.
Now, the obvious question, you're talking about all these games being fixed, you're talking about all these people involved, you're talking about going to various agencies, and they're saying who the people are involved. Why has this gone uncovered if this is the case?
What I'm also alleging in the book is that no fewer than 50 legitimate investigations of corruption within the NFL have been either suppressed or just flat out killed as a result of a sweetheart relationship between NFL security, which is the internal police force within the league, and a variety of federal and state and local law enforcement agencies. I'm a big baseball fan, and I have more respect for baseball right now because of the way it's handled the Pete Rose case in the open and honest manner that it's handled this case than I've ever had before. I have more confidence in baseball because it's handled.
Well, how do these investigations get quashed?
Basically, the NFL security people, who are all former Justice Department people, will go to their colleagues, their old colleagues in the Justice Department or in these various law enforcement agencies, and they'll say, we can handle this internally. Let us handle internally so that we're not getting all the publicity that we would be getting. And so to all intents and purposes, these investigations I can cite chapter and verse. Again, I cite about 50 in the book.
It is a strange sport because it is the one sport where you can go to a game and come away, even if your home team has won, disappointed because you're not as much interested in the outcome as the post.
Yeah, it's a situation where you have a game where the score is 21-20, there's 30 seconds left on the clock, the home team, you're up in the stands, and the home team has the ball on the 30-yard line. Now, the problem is that the home team had to give 3 points in the game. Now, the quarterback goes down on one knee, and the people in the stands boo. Now, they're starting to legalize gambling in Oregon. They're going to have a...
Pay attention to this. Now, integrity is the key. And I'm not saying, look, I rarely will say this to you guys, but I'm being 100 with you guys. I just don't like to say this is what's going to happen when I can't control the outcome of the game, right? I say, man, I don't have any control of the outcome of the game. Just like there was the one YouTuber that said, hey, Law Nation is the reason why y'all lost. I'm like, wait a minute now. I have no – he literally said, Law Nation and Vouch is the reason why the Cowboys lost. And I said, wait a minute, hold on. We have no control of the outcome of the game. You think I would be here if I had control of the outcome of the game? But when you are in a situation, whereas he said 27 out of the 32 owners gamble or dealing with mafia ties, rewind. They got control of majority of the outcome of the game. And 27 out of the 32 owners, I'm not finna sit here and point at my guy, Jerry Jones and John Stephen Jones. I'm not finna put that on. It's on them. But one thing I do know, as a bookie, right, you win regardless of the outcome of the game. Whether you lose or win, you still win it. You're still going to make the money. And that is what a lot of people must realize. And that's why I'm a firm and I'm positive that the cap and all of this stuff is pinned just so that we can have this conversation today. That's why I did this video today. Because it automatically forces you to pick between Randy Gregory and DeMarcus Lawrence. It forces you to pick between Randy Gregory, DeMarcus Lawrence, and Amari Cooper. It forces you to start sullying and denigrating their lifestyle, their play, to shoot personal jabs at them, and for you to overlook the fact that, or not even pay attention to the fact that they are getting paid from a person that sits higher than them, that you won't even point the finger at them, and they collected majority of the checks and the resources, right? It's equivalent to you getting mad at the mailman for putting the mail inside the slot versus mad at the energy company or the mortgage company, right? It's just equivalent to, he said, I can't stand that mailman over there. Every time he come and put the mail in the slot is bad news. I can't stand him. We need a new mailman. That's equivalent to what y'all are arguing about. We need a new mailman. I like that mail carrier, the other lady. That lady kind of nice when she drop her stuff in his mailbox, and it's the same results.
A sports lottery, NFL lottery in Oregon, Kentucky. Mm-hmm. I mean, the state isn't in the bookmaking business for eleemosynary or philanthropic purposes. Yeah. They're going to be in this to make money. They're going to take a 40 to 60% skim of the handle, of the total pool of bets. And in the end, they're going to educate the public as to how to gamble, how to use the point spread. And then the public is going to realize that it can get a bigger bang for its buck from Charlie the bookie, the friendly local bookmaker at the corner bar, who's going to be put up $11 to win 10, and taking a 10% vigorish or commission on the losing bets he books.
Now, is all this, is what you have written here going to get things unearthed?
Well, I'm hoping that there'll be a federal investigation, hopefully the Senate Select Committee, to investigate organized crime's influence in all of professional sports, not just football, but on baseball and basketball as well. I'm hoping that there will be registration and licensing of anyone with a financial interest in a professional sports team, that there will be public disclosure of financial transactions involving professional sports teams, that there will be a further examination of public ownership of teams so that the citizens of the cities in which these teams play, the public can have literally a piece of stock in those companies. I'm also afraid that the illegal gambling economy has become an adjunct to the First Amendment because of the insistence by the sports media to print and broadcast the betting line and to hire odds makers and handicappers for the purposes of...
That is true. You read the newspaper and the point spread is in there, and it's obviously in there to give you information for gambling, which is
gambling is still illegal in 49 states until September 6th when the lottery is legalized in Oregon.
Yeah. We just have a minute here, but when you write about organized crime and involvement, does this give you any cause for concern about your own safety, and should I be doing this interview?
Yeah, sometimes it does. I had a lot of trouble when I was younger, but no one's tried to kill me in almost 6 years, so I feel pretty comfortable right now.
Well, Well, I don't.
This is my fourth book. This is my fourth book, and I should point out I've never been sued. And I try to treat people with respect, and I think that everybody has something to say. Everyone has an ego, and mob guys are like, human beings, and you just have to be able to push the right button with them.
Well,
I've never met a mob guy who's not against wiretapping. I've never met a mob
They're
guy who's
lovable
not.
lugs, aren't they?
I've never met a mob guy who's not in favor of strong personal privacy laws. I've been bored for hours by mob guys who are whining about the alleged impingements upon their rights and freedoms by the FBI and the IRS.
It's a sensation.
Well, he ain't meeting a lot of mob guys. Talking about, I never met a mob guy who didn't mind a wiretap. Shoot. I don't know if this guy's still alive, but you guys can Google him. And shout out to him and his book that he came out 1979. The dude came out with the book so long ago. And it's still, that's his name. I put it in the chat, Nation, and y'all can start Googling and looking it around. Here's my stance on this. I've seen some people say, man, I lost the passion now, man. Sure. Me knowing the truth now, that's why I never introduced the ideal of Santa Claus to my kids. I literally said, you know what? I ain't finna put them down that road because I'm a very passionate guy, as you guys can tell. That's how we are. When you're born in the month of February, Aquarius, you passionate, right? You very passionate. Me and Michael Jordan, same month. I think that he's born in February. But neither here nor there. It's all about, a system of control. And I don't want you guys to lose passion of the game, but know that it's been touched. The game been touched for a long time. It's been touched. It's always been a situation and scenario that is tarnished in a sense. And hear me out. Your team can still win in spite of all of it. I believe you can still win in spite of someone trying to rig it. I believe so. The healthcare industry is rigged, right? I talked to you guys before. The legal system is rigged, right? The legal system is rigged. Healthcare system is rigged. This algorithm that we are talking on is rigged, right? Y'all can go to some YouTube page. Won't even be a face there. They got 2 million followers, Y'all can go to some Facebook accounts and, you don't even see any image there, but they got all type of nonsense on their page, and their page still up, and you sitting there like, hey, how that page still up? How the fact checkers didn't fact check that? It's just how it is, and that's just how it is, Cowboy Nation. Unfortunately, now these young guys that's in the Senior Bowl, and these young guys are gonna get drafted, or let's use Micah Parsons for example. I mean, he's naturally gifted, right? He's untouched at this point. I don't think nobody got a hold to him yet. But I hope that when they ever knock on that door, I hope that he say, you know what, I'm good, I'm cool. Nah, I'm good, I'm cool. Right? I'll never forget, it was a scary movie a long time ago I was watching it when I was young. It was the movie called The Wishmaster. It was a crazy movie. And you can make a wish and your wish will come granted, right? But it didn't tell you like the repercussions of what will happen once you agree to that wish. And I think that that's how some of this stuff is, just like the Wishmaster. Let me see if I can find this. They came out with another one, oh my God. Let me see if I can find it right quick. Yeah, y'all know I always like to watch movies. Yeah, it never fazed me. And that's how he would do it. I think one person said, it's a good movie, man. Way back in the days it came out. And this one came out in 1997. You'll make a wish. It'll come true. Like you rub this little lamp or thing or whatever it is. And it says, be careful what you wish for. And I think somebody said, I wish I was a multi-millionaire, He said, yes, your wish is granted, Oh, my gosh. And the moment I think the guy, mom and dad was in the airplane and it crashed, right? He became a multi-millionaire, but, he lost his parents, by the way, for doing such, right? And I think that that's how most of this stuff is, man. They come to the kicker and say, "Hey, we can set you up, in a beach house 3 years from now, and we can give you all of the fortunes that you want. But we just want you to miss one kick in the first game of the season, right?" And I'm not saying that that's what happened, but that's just how it goes, man. Yeah, that was a creepy picture, right? Where that picture at? It's somewhere up there. I think I took it away. But yeah, it's a creepy picture. Yeah, here you go, right here, bam. And over the years, he got swollen. Brother, that joker been lifting some weights, right? The swole master now. He started lifting weights, right? And you know what? A lot of times, imagery, you would think that somebody would look like this. They probably wouldn't look like this. They probably look, sometimes people that come with that deal. Let me just type in beautiful woman. Let me put a beautiful woman, beautiful woman. I hope it don't show me no X-rated imagery, Sometimes they can come in forms of like this, You'll think that it would look like that, but shoot. That wish could come just like this, man. I just type in beautiful, so I didn't type any preference as far as race, but you guys get what I'm saying, right? Like sometimes they come like that, and I ain't finna type in beautiful man. That's man law. I ain't finna do all that. But you guys get what I'm saying, right? So sometimes the angle that you're looking for, it may not look the way you think it. You may be looking for something to look like a goblin, and it come looking a whole nother way that will mess you up. You're like, man, it messed me up. But neither here nor there. The NFL, I think that what we see, and by us really yelling and pointing things out, eventually, man, it's going to rise up to the surface. I had somebody to reach out to me and said, "Law, don't you know that the Cowboys, when they were penalized 14 times, I think it was in that 49ers game, that the last 4 games that they played in the playoffs since then, it still didn't equate to the amount of penalties that the Cowboys had in that first game." That's crazy, right? So we do know for sure that what this guy said, the NFL is fixed, what have you. He wrote a big old book about it. He said they like to target the officials. I'm quite sure, man. Shoot. Could be one of those situations. I'm just saying. Don't come after me, Mafia. I'm just saying. If Law Nation come up missing, y'all say, man, he did this video, and that's why he's missing. He's gone. Oh my gosh! But don't come after me, man. Everything is all well, man. It's real, baby. It's not fake. It's real, right? Stay focused. Stay focused. These young kids had nothing to do with it. Let's stop doing any personal attacks amongst those guys. It is what it is at this point. We got to stay fighting for it, right? I know it's hard to have your passion into it when somebody tarnish it, right? Enemy got to do his. Y'all got me, right? Making sense? I'm really thinking about starting a conspiracy channel. And I'm just not going to do it with this channel, but maybe with a whole nother channel, right? Talk about 5G network. We behind. 7G is already here in China. 6 and 7G, they already working on another J. We still talking about 5G over here. We behind. And I tell you that metaverse stuff is deep. Man, it's going to have people like real talk, like the Matrix in this thing, man, for real. Shout out to you, Ryan. I see you, fam. Make it our watch, right? I'm going to make it, the Law Nation Conspiracy Network, baby. Yo, how all of this stuff is tied and connected with 5G, 6G, 7G, the vibes and the vibrations, the vibrant energy that changed the minds and the concept of everything? Huh? Right? If you think that these lower markets all of a sudden winning is just a trick, come on, baby. I talked to y'all before about that. Hurricane Katrina hit, then the next few years, oh, New Orleans, we need to make some more money. Let's bring the Super Bowl there, right? Oh my goodness, it wasn't a coincidence that all of a sudden Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta was built, huh? Shout out to everybody, man. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. The frequency levels, right? Chemtrails, right? You know, Prince was talking about that, and then all of a sudden I said, oh man, they got the Prince, man. That's been my time. I hope mine's not right now, but that's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let's go. Oh, the music was too loud. Y'all couldn't listen. Oh, my bad. I was all into it, man. My bad. So I'm glad it was too loud because I was telling too much secrets, Kimmy. But I really appreciate y'all, man. One love. Let's go, baby. Let's go. I'll turn the music down better next time. My bad. I'm one-man show. I don't have a producer over here. But it's all good.
I ran up a check, I might do it again.
Is that too loud? Y'all gotta let me know when the music too loud. I don't say some good stuff. Oh, Rob, when 10G get here, oh, it's gonna be over.
I do it again.
Yep. You better make sure you look when 10G get here. You better make sure that your body is equipped. Add it up. Bankroll.
I'm just doing me. Everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Told her if it's all me, everything is on me. Gon' back it up.
Let's go.
Told you I'ma do me. Why you hating on me? It's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck. Country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold-hearted, now I'm back up. Keep it real, I do this once a month, I don't rap much. I just take the money and go stack up. Only buying car to get tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No fault, I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low.
Yep.
Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me. Gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me. Why you hating on me? It's not adding up.
Let the world spin, baby.
It's all me,
it's on me, baby.
Back it up.
Come on.
Told you I'ma do me. Why you hating on me? It's not adding up.
Really appreciate you guys, man. No conspiracy talk to make that hair on the back of your neck stand. Have faith and understanding. We don't have the spirit of fear in us. We strong with this thing, man, right? Let's go, Cowboy Nation. We lit, huh, Tyler? Yup, let's go.
Take a drag of my cigarette.
Bring me
out, breathe you in.
And again.
Yeah. Take a bite of my burger, babe. Save the last bite for you.
And you.
For you. Ooh. Don't let the street lights hit you all alone.
Don't let that street light hit you.
You know it's dangerous to go alone.
Let's go.
Don't let the street lights hit you. Can I be your player too? I'll follow wherever you go.
Hope all is well.
Whatever you do.
More and more clips will come out throughout the day. Shout out to you, Saleh. Lawyer. Appreciate you for the 500 stars. Yep.
7 years of And another one.
Shout out to you, Anthony, for the 50
And
stars.
another one.
Party, yaddy, 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 yaddy. Oh my gosh. They're going triple platinum.
All in one. Don't let the street lights hit you all alone. You know it's dangerous to go alone. Don't let the street lights hit you. Can I be your player too?
Shout out to you, Red Alert. Appreciate you.
Wherever you go, whatever you do,
Voodoo.
play it too.
Black, what's good, baby?
If a paper
Ready,
crane can
red.
fly, then forever doesn't feel that far. So far, so far.
I want me some
If
glory
a
hole.
paper crane can fly, forever doesn't feel that far. So far, so far. If a paper crane
to you,
can
Jessica.
fly, fly on,
Sadiqa.
fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on.
Oh my, I love that last verse. Appreciate everybody, man, and shout out to Oak Cliff. Appreciate you. We up out. Salute.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Maybe I just wanna run it up. Can we check or something? I've been really in the field, let up, yeah. I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Half a ticket to a meal. Lately I just wanna run it up.